Yeah. All right. Oh, Greg's there. Hey, Greg.
Hey,
Hey, Leanne. How are you
hey,
doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I see my friend Greg Cangialois helping Theresa. Hey, how you doing? Good.
Hey,
Trying to get her frame going here.
there we go.
She's all set up. She is all set up. Well,
Awesome.
thank you both for being on this session, Entrepreneurship Matters. I am so excited to speak with the both of you. This is all about pampering. That's what I said. This is all about pampering, right?
It is.
Yeah. All right. All right. So let's get right in. I'm gonna start us off, give your bios, and we're gonna jump right into the conversation. So Entrepreneurship Matters is a series that we've been running for 26 weeks. And it is a conversation that we have with a local up and coming and an established entrepreneur. It was all conceived of by an amazing entrepreneur, Camry Moses, who's a young person, a dynamic young person in our community who has her own business. And she thought it would be inspiring to hear about the stories of entrepreneurs. And people have been so inspired. I know today will be no less inspiring. We know that it takes undiluted passion, multiple failures, a lot of grit, and a long-term commitment to make it. And you are two who are making it so well. We're so blessed to have you in our Baltimore community. Let me start out. Leanne Horton is an amazing and the founding and owner of Messy Buddha Boutique. As a young woman with a nagging skin issues of her own, she wanted to help people feel more comfortable and confident in their skin and safely treat their issues like psoriasis and eczema. She was a biology major she's a Morgan Bear.
Yeah.
Bear, but I love Morgan Bears.
Go Morgan.
Yes, she studied healthcare so she could have transformed the lives of her community. It's her dream to heal people. I want to talk about that. When promote wellness and still earn a living. You started Messy Buddha in 2017 to create products that look to heal the body and mind of her customer using all natural ingredients. And her goal is to lead her clientele towards a more holistic healing process. Excellent, excellent. Theresa Cangialois, wonderful. She is the founder and owner of So Botanical Apothecary and Aromatherapy. That first one that's a tongue twister. It's an alliteration. And in South Baltimore, she's a certified and registered aromatherapist and has been working in the field of aromatherapy and natural body products for over 30 years. Can't be, you're not even 30, I don't think. Yeah, maybe. She, in the late 80s, Theresa opened one of the first aromatherapy bars in the United States, and by 1996, launched an aromatherapy education facility at Touch the Earth and one of her many retail locations over the years. She has received a number of awards. Her bio is long, so book.
Sorry.
She's been awarded the Best of Baltimore a record of 5 times. She's been featured in Aromatics, Times Magazine, and has in volunteers with shock trauma, the University of Maryland Medical Center. She is just dynamic, and I know you and your husband are just entrepreneurs, diehard entrepreneurs, and also have supported so many others. And so welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Why don't we just get started quickly? So what inspired you to become an entrepreneur? So why don't we start with Leanne? What inspired you to do so?
Well, basically, the reason I started the business is because I wanted to finish school. I ran into some issues with school, and I was like, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, but the time was more of a problem at that time. So I decided, hey, I should just work for myself. That way I can navigate around my school schedule. And I did not know what I was getting myself into. It's not that easy. It's been a really long journey, but I will be going back to school next semester. It took me 3 years to be able to settle, to be able to finish, but I will be going back to Morgan next semester. So school was my motivation. I really wanted to finish school, but then I found out, hey, I actually like working for myself. I like being in front of people. So that was it.
Excellent, excellent. How about you, Theresa? What started you in the field of aromatherapy?
It was,
An entrepreneur.
I actually found my passion. You know how you sometimes don't know what you want to do until you find it. And I actually knew right away when I started working with the oils and the plants that that's where my passion lied. And it really turned into a business because I enjoyed it so much. That's where it began. And the journey of the self-healing, really naturally, and getting involved and learning the skills and knowing, wow, this is what I want to do for my work, because it really came from the passion. And again, to self-reliance, independence, freedom, those things I saw right away. If I could combine my passion with that, I would have all of that. Yeah.
That's amazing. Both of you have used, I don't know if you realize this, but you use certain words when you talk about your products and your business. And one word that comes is healing, right? So how do you go from a concept of healing, because I think that's a very attractive concept, to starting a business? What were the steps you went through to go from an idea and a passion into a business? Why don't I start with you, Theresa, and then go to Leah?
Really initially playing around with it myself. At the time I began working with the oils, we had a lot of herbs to work with, but we did not have the oils in this country at that time. I almost stumbled upon them from someone that started importing from Europe then. And I was working with some my issues. I had alopecia, I had severe acne, and it was almost not accidental, but it instantaneously, when I started working with the oils, I saw a difference, not only in my physical, but my emotional. So I knew that, just keeping working with keep creating. And I just kept creating and creating. And there were no books at that time. So I just had to start making things up. That was how rudimentary it really was at that time, and talking to people and sharing my passion. And when I found my very first book, because most everything was in French at that time, it was amazing, and just learning. And then saying, yes, this is what I want to do for a business, and going through the steps, that everyone has to go through, getting the licenses, borrowing some money, finding a space, and then getting people interested in my passion. I was so interested in it. I guess I just thought, well, of course, everyone else is going to be interested in this, but that's really, it was through my excitement and getting my word out. And as I learned more, I was able to share more. And, it just kept growing from there. And then all the business stuff involved with the growth. Yeah.
So you talked about a couple of steps. You talked about really going through an education process, and then the student of the work that you were going to be producing, the product. Then, every business that comes on here talks about the licensing and getting credit and finding the space. And then I think you talked about something interesting, getting people interested in what you're talking about, because you started in 1996.
Well, you started in 1986. Yeah.
1986. Oh, see, don't let me cut you short on 10 years. 1886.
Yeah.
Building off of that excitement and then growing the business. Excellent points for people that are listening. Leah, how'd you start out in this business?
Well, like Theresa, I've always had skin issues, always, but probably the hardest time in my life was around 11 or 12. I had eczema and psoriasis, and they were all over my body, including my hair. That was probably the biggest thing, and I actually lost my hair for about a year. So I had plaque psoriasis. It was really severe. It was painful, and like Theresa, I had some family that was across seas. They were from a different country, so they were used to the oils, and introduced me to, oils, shea butter, black seed, some of the things that I wasn't aware of. I came in contact because of these family members and friends, and it healed me to a point where my hair grew back. Some of the issues that I had with pain subsided. So yeah, that's pretty much how that worked out for me.
Excellent, excellent. And so
I'm sorry, the video froze for a second. I was like, wow.
don't worry. We're not gonna have any mishaps on the tech front on this one.
Okay.
So to take us through sort of how do you start your business? Both of you are producing a product. So you're not producing a service. You go from being a student, creating a product, and now, Theresa, turn around, you have shelves of product behind you. If you look at Lear, you have shelves of product. How do you go from, take us through production? What is it like to produce your product, quality control, make it consistency? Can you talk about that? I'll start with Theresa.
Yeah, we've really grown over the last many years. Initially, there was, in the 80s, like I was just saying, there was not many natural ingredients available. The complicated part now is it's growing so quickly, it's keeping up with all the cutting edge ingredients and all the things that are being brought to us. So it's honing in on purchasing, finding the things that we want to put out. We sell quite a few products, and people are always kind of surprised or perplexed why we sell so many products. But we found that one lifestyle doesn't just have one product. It's not just a face cream. It could be emotional things that we need to tend to. It might be, the skin issues, or it might be just so many different things in our life. So we just kept creating different products. We produce a lot of products, and there's really two of us right now that make all the products. It's kind of unheard of. Once in a while we get a little help when we have really big orders. I'll call some people in and we'll do that, but really it's having our ingredients ready. We produce all our own labels right now. Being organized. We now are in a warehouse, and we're able to be very, very organized, and our stations, and what are we going to make today? Yesterday we made about 10 products. So we're going to do this, 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 and this, having absolutely everything we need, having everything sterile, having everything, flow like that. And then it goes into this world, getting the word out, it goes into the next phase, the selling. We can put out a million products, but if we don't have people interested in them, part of our products get developed from people asking. Initially, when I got into this business, my specialty was custom formulating. So I was really just formulating for what you would ask for. You'd come in and say, oh, I have a skin condition, or I have alopecia. Can you possibly help me out? Yes, let me make that up. And we started hearing over the years, over and over and over, so many of the same things requested. We said, well, we have to add this particular product to our repertoire, our inventory, and that's still how it works. When enough people start asking, men or women, for a type of product, and we have to go to the bar and custom formulating it, we're like, this has got to be now a test product, and we have to get it out there to people. And that's how we're working now, basically. It's a lot more than that, but
No, this is fascinating. I make very little things. So this is all the makers out there. I know they are salivating hearing about how you're making things. Leah, how'd you go from producing one product for yourself, probably, to mass producing for a marketplace?
So when I first started, I actually went to another business and was like, hey, I'll work for you if you teach me. And I got rejected so many times because they're like, oh, is she going to take my things? Is she going to? And that wasn't my intention. And then I finally found one person that believed in me Dan from Dan Candle, and he was making candles, and I went through some things with him, and I was like, candles are not my thing. I think I need to go towards skin. So basically, I was making things for myself, making things for friends, and when I got my feedback from friends and family, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make that product, or I'm gonna make this product. So the other thing is I tend to collaborate with other businesses. So things that I'm not a master at, for example, essential oils. I just started kind of getting into essential oils. I'll make things for myself and wear them to work or wear them out, and people will be like, oh my God, that smells great. Or can I try some of that? Not now with COVID, will I let people try? But but I depend on those sister companies or my friends. And another company, Hemp and Healthy, Demi Abramidas, has been such a blessing to me during COVID.
Really,
Yeah.
this is, I mean, your talk about sister companies is really a neat concept of
Yeah, I consider her like a sister company. She actually produces things for me. So I often lean on those people that I trust, that have been in the business, that know those products better than I do, and I learn from them and collaborate with them. So yeah, that's how I do it.
excellent. So let me ask you this: COVID, you both, COVID has changed the marketplace.
Yeah.
Guessing it's changed the marketplace for pampering products, like it has changed it for all other products. Can you talk about how you are, how your business may have shifted in COVID? What are you doing? How are you setting up? Let me start with Theresa.
Well, I'm glad people are finally starting to wash their hands. That is one thing that we've always done, and I know you as a maker also wash your hands a lot, but just, we're doing a lot more of that. We're using a lot more protective. I have been juggling with schedules. We've been doing a lot more online. Our online exploded this year a lot more. We closed down for a while, for quite a few months at our Federal Hill store. We completely gutted it, took everything out. So it was, because we had to remake once we got open to keep everything fresh. We completely took it down. We opened a warehouse, our warehouse in March. So we had the opportunity. It was
Your warehouse is in Baltimore City too, right?
Yeah, it's on Clipper Mill Road, right next to Whitehall Mill. But it was an interesting time because it offered us those moments to put this together and keep it safe, keep us safe. But then, we knew we had to open up the flagship retail, and we've been trying to do that very safely. Space, masks, everyone's masks, lots of open air. Juggling hours. It's been hard. Employees. It's been hard to. We're finally back on track with that, getting people that really want to work again. But it's the warehouse. We just opened the retail last week in the warehouse. So now people can come in the warehouse. We're still not
really? We can go to Clipper Mill and buy something now.
Yeah. And we've got the bar here where, we do all the custom formulating here now. But we're still not ready to do events, classes, education, parties, things that we had set this space up in addition to our makers and makers events. We're not able to do that now because of COVID. We want it to be very, very safe space. So when you do visit, you have, your air, your space, clean environment. We're juggling, but it's we've been very, very busy. I'm very, very blessed. I think this is our time right now. People are finally realizing, we have to start taking care of our health. And
No, you are in the niche environment. Actually, I want to buy some stock. I'll talk to you after this show. But how's COVID impacting your business? I know we talked about it a little bit in our prep.
Yeah, so I actually had a store last year. I opened February 2019, and February 2020, right before the storm hit, I decided to close my doors. So I didn't know that COVID was going to have an impact the way that it did, but I, started reading some of the things that were being posted across seas, and I'm just too small of a business to take a risk like that. So congratulations to you, Theresa, for being able to weather the storm, because that's amazing. What I have done has went back to grassroots and just started farmers markets again. Even though I'm a millennial, I'm not really tech savvy. So that's where my collaborations come in again. Some of the younger millennials, I've been like, hey, can you help me with my website? Can you help me with marketing? So I'm learning again. It's like I'm starting over again, which is good because I get to edit some of the things that I missed in the beginning. So it's like starting from day one for me, but it's been good. It's been really busy, and I've been able to change a lot of things during COVID. So I'm happy about it. Yeah.
Excellent. So both of you did those pivots and have shifted. Now people want us to get into y'all have your products sitting next to you?
I don't. I can grab some though.
All right, go grab it. I'm going to entertain them while y'all go grab the products.
Okay. All right.
Let's get some. People are already asking questions about the product, so I have to entertain the group with my jokes, my skin jokes. I don't have any skin jokes. Theresa, don't leave me that long. Leah, don't leave me that long. Hold on, they're coming back. Don't worry. Keep watching. Keep watching. They're coming. Right now. Don't worry.
Okay.
All
There's
right,
some,
Theresa
it's hard
made
to
it back
choose.
first. She's the fastest one. Okay, so people are asking, and I want you to be able to demonstrate some of your products. How do people choose skin products for themselves? How are you saying, you talk about people who have alopecia, psoriasis, what process are you going through? Can you take us through that really quickly?
Everyone's different with skin. Young skin, old skin, troubled skin. And we take a look at, where everyone's at first. There's no one way for everyone. We have a lot of different products for different types of skin. Usually we give out a lot of samples, to help people test out, see what works best with their skin. But we keep it really simple. Teach people how to layer from, certain products should be used kind of in an order. I've learned that because of the way the dermal works. And you want to hit the deepest part of the dermal first. You want to use, the purest possible ingredients you can put on your skin. You want to feed, we teach people all the time. You need to, like you're feeding your body, you need to feed your skin, it's
I could have done that while y'all were running, that the largest organ on the body is the skin.
Yeah.
I missed the opportunity. Okay, can you show us some of your products, Theresa? Let's see what we have.
Okay, so our biggest seller, Face Nourish, we sell this in 3 different sizes right now. We're going through a completely restructuring of our skincare. We have new bottles, black, gorgeous ultraviolet bottles, and different labels coming for our entire skincare. But Face Nourish, we've been making this since the 90s, and the ingredients have changed as we've gotten new ingredients. But it's some of the finest antioxidants, nourishing, replenishing. It's good for really any type of skin, scarring, acne, calming, soothing, very moisturizing, doesn't clog pores. People have always been afraid to use oils. They think greasy, oily. Oils are the key. Really clean oils are the key to feeding the dermal. And this is definitely our Face
Nourish. All right, we have Face Nourish. You have anything else? What else do we have?
I got lots. This is a big one this time of year. We have a whole line.
The bath, the CB. Oh my Lord, we're gonna take it off the air. I just saw that.
Calm it down. We have hand sanitizer.
Hand sanitizer.
We do a lot of that. We do a real natural, fabulous for cuticles, fabulous for repair of the hands. A lot of hand sanitizer, they're destroying our hands. Yeah. We have a lot of pain products. This is just one of them. We do a balm. Another skin item that's really big, the vitamin C. This is the product that really does magic with fine lines, dark spots, sun damage. You know, it's a natural way to strip. The ascorbic acid strips hand, you know, really gentle hand soaps
Sunshine
that
suds.
have, you know, ingredients in them. Every product, it's not just a product. The essential oils that we choose are really finely tuned to not only smell a certain way, but to, you know, work with healing the body with, or whatever you're working with.
Excellent,
So,
excellent.
yeah.
I'm coming down. You know, I'm coming down. I'm supposed to come down on Wednesday, but coming down.
I'll get you some.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. Leah, let's see what products do you have.
Okay, well, I am a body butter lover right now. So especially in the fall, I have really dry legs. I am originally from North Carolina. So when I moved here, the air was a lot different. So yeah, my body butter, this one is called Papa's Pipe. It's actually tobacco and bourbon scented. It's one of my favorites, one of my best sellers. Also another moisturizer is, this one is Wind Down, which is a muscadine scent. But
Muscadines. Oh, you are from North Carolina.
I am.
Nobody.
They used to be in the backyard. So
Yep, muscadines are good.
yeah, this is a body oil, a fast absorbing body oil. So I really love this scent too. It's a bit strong for some people, but I love grapes. So the other thing is I reshaped my soap. So I have a soap called Black Jesus, and it's actually vanilla scented. It is probably my most popular product in everything, candles, body butter,
Black
whatever.
Jesus.
Black
soap.
Jesus. I can
Okay, let
never
me see
keep
Black
it.
Jesus soap.
I don't have it. That's the thing. But
Oh, it's sold out. Nobody can
it's
get it.
sold out. I reshaped the bar of soap to make it larger so people would stay away from me a little bit longer. So my bar of soap takes 4 to 6 weeks, depending on which formula I use for it. But I reshaped my bar of soap to make it thicker so people would come back later when I had more. So that's another thing. And then, of course, everyone knows me for soy candles. So if anybody knows Dan Candle is one of the best soy candles in Baltimore City, but he makes custom scents for me. And this candle is 6 ounces. It burns for 45 hours. So
Oh wow, that's a long time.
That's a long time. Yeah.
So people asked, and I wanted to get your products because so many questions, and we're getting a lot of questions, and I forgot to tell people to do this. I got so involved in this. People can type their questions in the chat, or they could go on Facebook, which a lot of people on Facebook watching and asking questions on Facebook. But you may also type your questions and text them to us. Type 22333 and type JHUWL in the message, and then type your question to us, and Theresa and Leah will answer them. Okay, let's go. This is a question came up on Facebook. How can people navigate what is right for their skin? So how people going through it, how are they, what is the investigative process? Theresa, I'll start with you and then Leah. How do they find that out?
I'd say come in, talk to someone that, you know, can help them with skin, get samples. Always ask for samples, especially for the skin. Get information about all the ingredients. If someone that's selling products does not know about the ingredients, then, you know, that's a sign right there. You might not want to go with those products. You know, testing things out. Skin is tricky, and it's one of the biggest selling, you know, lines that we have, but there's a lot of variables for everyone's skin. So really it's educating, you know, yourself about your skin, learning about your skin. Some people come in and think they're very oily and they're trying to dry their skin out. And what we find is they're really they're drying their skin out so much, their skin is crying out to produce oils. You know, we talk a lot about diet, you know, I don't anymore beat around the bush with people with holistic health and this magic bullet is gonna, you know, give you perfect skin. There's a lot of other components that go into having beautiful skin, and diet is a key, lifestyle is a key to, those things like that. But working with natural is the way to go with your skin.
Yeah. Leah, how would someone ask, how do you advise someone how long should they be testing these products? How do you, to see if it's effective on their skin?
So I agree with Theresa. Definitely ask for samples. I don't mind giving samples. People don't usually ask me for them anymore, but I agree just from a personal standpoint. If you can't eat something and you read the ingredients and it has that something in there, you may want to stay away from that. But everything she said was correct. Like, you definitely have to pay attention to yourself specifically and then compare notes with the product. So yeah, she hit it right on the head. Like, I don't think I could have said it even better.
Let me ask you this. You both of y'all have a lot of fans watching. So kudos to you both for amazing products and amazing work. So someone asked, before COVID, they thought they heard that Botanical was considering doing refills, letting customers bring in their empty bottles for refills of their products. Is that still under consideration, Theresa, once the
Yes, we've always let people, for most products, not all the products, certain products we can't because of keeping things sterile, but a lot of our products we've always allowed people to bring back, and we will refill them. We are no longer doing that in the Federal Hill location. You can drop off your bottle, but we're doing everything at the warehouse to keep everything controlled. But we encourage people to bring your bottle back, and we will refill it, and you will get a discount because
discount.
We clean up the bottle, and
Excellent,
and it goes a long way. Yeah.
And then people just shouting y'all out. Y'all are the best. You're doing amazing things. This is great. Okay, so I gotta get back to the question. We're gonna run out of time. I can already feel it. So let me ask you this. What has been both of your greatest accomplishment? Both of you have accomplished so much. Leah, what would you say has been your greatest accomplishment thus far in your business?
Well, I have not been around but 32 years. So, and my business has been around 3 years, and 2 years of that I've actually been active. So the first year I didn't even go out and do anything. Just to start, was probably the largest at this point, the biggest accomplishment. The store, everybody's like, oh, you jumped into a store really early in your career, and that stuff is great. But to even get started, I know myself, I'm big on procrastination. So, to even begin is a really huge thing. And then to put yourself out there in front of people, and, sometimes you don't feel the best, and you have to stand in front of people and smile and present yourself in a way where they believe you. And that's not always the way you feel. So the biggest accomplishment for me at this point was just starting, just beginning. So yeah.
That's so beautiful. It's like poetry. I mean, it's true. Just getting started.
Yeah.
A huge accomplishment. Going from a dream to reality. Huge. Yeah. Amazing. I hope somebody took a quote. I know that's going to be one of the quotables. That is beautiful, beautifully said, and very inspiring for other entrepreneurs. Theresa, what would you say?
Besides, for business only, of course, my family is my biggest accomplishment, but being the opportunity to be of service, to assist others in their path of healing and well-being. And it's such a privilege to see this on a daily basis, year after year after year after year, see people heal themselves and find the empowerment that they have control over their body, their mind, their temples, that they can make a difference with their own bodies. And, to watch this healing take place, it can be the littlest thing or the biggest thing. That's what hits me in the heart. that's
Yeah.
the biggest thing.
Yeah, yeah. And in the amount of time both of you have been in business, even 2 years, I mean, you get to see people who come back because it's working when, they've been stuck for so long,
Mhm.
and dealing with something so personal. So, like, I've got good news that we've been able to get Oprah and Jeff Bezos to come on and watch. So they both, I cut myself. I make myself laugh every week with this. One day they're gonna watch. And so the question is, what would you say? How can, let's not say Jeff Bezos and Oprah, they're watching though, but how can we be supportive of you? How can we make sure that there are businesses like yours thriving in our city? How can we make sure that you, as individuals, consumers, that we're making sure we are coming to you? What's the advice you give for those who are at the table where they move millions of dollars of money and have influence and have platforms, and also for us as just community residents who care about our city? What advice would you give to us? So Leah, I'll start with you, and then Theresa.
Of course, she started with me.
All right, Theresa, go first. Sorry.
All right.
Leah gave me a look.
I've got a list here. So
You got a
anyone
list.
up.
Uh-oh.
So looking for companies, backers, businesses to allow my business to grow, not only locally, but nationally and globally, and putting our community here to work. I work with other companies and I make products for other companies and I help develop scents and things like that. I want to do that here in Baltimore. I want to bring back the spirit of teaching people just everything we've just talked about wellness, and I want to teach people how to do this themselves. I want to employ those people. I want to give people a second chance. There are so many people that I see in some of the other work I do with other companies where they have regaining whole new lives, where they're making body products, they're empowering, they're eating better, they're treating them, their whole wellness life is better, and their entire lives are turned around. I'd like to see our products taken to that level where we can grow them and sell them everywhere and become, one of the biggest natural products, holistic companies, and also have a really big mission behind it, helping Baltimore, helping the people in Baltimore. A friend of mine, you may know Matthew King, he's an entrepreneur in Harlem Park. We are talking, I want to have a natural pharmacy in Harlem Park. I want to have a natural food store there. I along the lines of John Hopkins, I work with different departments. They've done some testing with us. We do all kinds of things, but I'm still waiting. Where is this connection with natural on a larger level? Why is it this alternative complementary? It's as important as any medicine out there, and it's a burgeoning business, only growing. We need more education on it. We need more testing. We need to come together as one, and every single hospital should have a natural pharmacy right in the middle, so the doctor can say, oh, well, you know what, you have eczema. We're going to work on this. Go downstairs and get one of the creams from Miss Horton, or you just natural products, not necessarily the pills and the steroids and things like that. We need to really come on a bigger level and heal each other, not just the body, but again, the mind and the spirit. And so I'm looking for anyone who wants to think big in that arena, especially in Baltimore. And I would love to put a lot more people to work. So
excellent. I think they heard you, and I heard you too. So Leah, what would you say?
Well, if I met either one or both, I do have a question about natural products, but on a business level, and it doesn't have anything necessarily to do with my business specifically, but I do think that we need to bring business back to America. We need to establish our villages so that we can feed our own people. And that does mean building small business. So I know we're going through this trade thing, not to talk about politics, but it is important that we employ our community. And you have so many small businesses in Baltimore. Like I said, I'm from a small town in North Carolina. You know, only a few people had small businesses there. But when I came here, I was just floored at how many people owned a business and also how many buildings could hold people if we only build those businesses up. So I do want things for myself, but I also want to build a community that's able to support me. So it would be to give back to that community. Yeah.
Very good. I mean, both of you raised such good pointers, practical things that we can be doing. What is the long-term vision for your business? And I think you spoke a little bit about that in that question. Vision, what are you thinking about in terms of what's next? What's the next frontier? What's the hope standard? So Theresa, why don't I start with you, and then Leah said, don't come to me first. So.
I mean, I'll go first, but.
Me, who's going first here? Okay, I'll go. I want to look to partner with more people in Baltimore. We work with a lot of different companies in Baltimore already, partnering, helping create, products, what we do. We want to get our education out more. We used to do a lot of education throughout the years where, we had the opportunity to bring in not only myself, but people from around the world to help teach in different subject matters on aromatherapy and holistic health. And I want to bring more of that to Baltimore, so we can grow this, in Baltimore. Baltimore is such an amazing city. I always said if I could make it in Baltimore, I could make it anywhere, and I would never want to leave. Right. Yeah, it's very interesting. People are like, come to New York, come to DC. I'm like, no, this is right where I'm supposed to be. But I do want to start working and partnering in a larger scale, with what I'm doing. We're busy. We're so busy keeping up, and we have so many opportunities. I'm so blessed, but I want to see us doing more and getting more of the community involved in the healing. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What about you, Leah? What's next? What's the vision?
Well, Messy Buddha was not supposed to be a soap and candle company. So I do want to say that. It just happened to be that I had an interest because I worked for a larger company that I had experience with that. So that's where I started. It was actually supposed to be a yoga clothing line. So I am a yogi.
What?
Yes. And a lot of people do not know that. So I want to build a body care business, but the ultimate goal is to have a sports hiking yoga line. So that's where I see myself in the long term, is to have a body care, home care, lifestyle business. So the ultimate is activewear. But the next step, I actually did some testing with a hair oil that I made for my mom. I accidentally made a hair oil for my mom, and I let it cold process for 6 months and just totally forgot about it and gave it to her, and she loved it. So I bottled it up and actually sold it over the summer, and I got great reviews. So the next thing is hair for me.
Next thing is hair.
Yeah.
I'm big on hair. Big on hair.
And I'm not a girl that's big on hair. That's the crazy part.
No, I'm big on hair.
So that's the next thing.
Wow, both of you, so inspiring. We have received so many questions, so I'm going to try to get through them all in the next 15 minutes. We will see if I'm successful. But can Theresa, someone posed this question to you, Theresa, can Theresa discuss more about how she remedied her alopecia using natural ingredients? This is something that I struggle with personally. I've even gone to a dermatologist. So you can talk to that person about how did you address your alopecia?
The first thing was, and it was kind of by accident, and that's one of the very first things that got me into the business, working with a plant that I didn't even know that it was probably one of the best plants that I could be working with. And the rosemary plant is one of the best oils to use in hair, scalp. It clarifies. It cleans out your hair follicles. It provides circulation. Circulation is key in alopecia. Stress reducing is key. Clean diet is key. Oiling your hair. I had originally gone to a doctor, my primary doctor, and she was native from India. And, I said, oh, so should I get the shot? This is so long ago. And she goes, no. She goes, oil your hair. And, I was like, oh, I have all the oils, and it was as simple as that. It was really going back to the natural and cleaning things out, and
So do you have a hair product?
we have a hair nourish, we have a shampoo, we have a hair mask, and we have a conditioner, and we are working on right now almost like a pudding, a natural pudding that can be used as a conditioner and almost like a styling aid for very thick hair. We also have like a seborrhea dermatitis, a more medicated type oil for like seborrhea and things like that. But the hair nourish one is our classic nourish your hair with oil. It has the classic rosemary, cedarwood, lavender. There's a couple other, and then there's quite a few different, it's all organic carrier oils that are nourishing, work on circulation,
And Leah, do you have a product of that sort too? Do you have
I do. So it's a safflower oil base with different essential oils, yuzu, eucalyptus, and it's made cold processed, which is you basically dip the oil or can the oil airtight in with all the herbs in. I'm sorry, I went blank there for a second. And I let mine sit for about 6 months. The cold process, the hot process, I actually cook in the same type of airtight or air sealed bottle. But yeah, like I said, I had psoriasis and eczema, and to the point where my scalp was peeling off. And my saving grace was black seed oil. But the safflower combination that we made up has been excellent for us. So
Excellent. Where you going, Theresa? You trying to show us your shop?
well, here, Miss Technology, I just noticed I'm almost out of juice
I
here.
was like, what is
So,
Theresa about to do? She's going to take us on a tour?
I didn't want
No. Good.
off guard there once again with the technology.
That's okay.
So I gotta put myself
Someone
in.
posed this question. Are there essential oils or natural products that are harmful? This is a good question.
Yeah.
Text this in.
I'll just jump. I'm sorry, I didn't know. I'll jump in.
No,
because
go right
that's
ahead.
a really good question. Right now, we're seeing more and more misuse of this particular product. That's one of my challenges, is educating people on how to use the products properly so they can really benefit you to the highest degree. But we're seeing a lot of people use oils internally, use oils too much externally, not diluting properly, using on kids too young, using on pets of a certain size, using on cats. You should never use on cats. Using way too much, using oils that are highly skin sensitizing. I see sometimes recipes and I'm mind boggled at why they would choose cinnamon oil for the face or clove oil for the face, or, certain things that are very skin irritating and can burn, and it goes on and on. But every oil, you should really know about every oil before you start applying it, or even, inhaling it. There are contraindications, people on certain meds. There are things you don't want to work with, when you're on chemo or radiation.
Yeah.
It's not, and the troublesome thing now is in this world, because it's exploded, the natural, there's people's beliefs that, it will cure anything. It can do anything. Oh, let me drink it. I see a lot of the, like the crazy things that happen in this industry, when I go to the conferences, and people are getting themselves in a muck by using a lot of these oils improperly.
Yeah.
So it's going to a proper aromatherapist or someone that really knows what they're doing. And, you know, not just reading what you see online. A lot of the online information is not true at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Leah, what would you say? You have any?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's why what my holdup was with essential oils, because people don't realize like too much is just too much. That you know, you don't want to damage yourself. So I've been really slow with essential oils, even fragrance oils. I'm really slow, and I've had some people come to me and say, "Hey, can you make this stronger?" And I'm like, "No, I can't. You know, I don't think that's safe, and that's not what my company is about. I'm not a person that wants to overload a product, you know, with oil, fragrance oil, or essential oil for that matter." So she's absolutely correct. But I have slowed myself so that I could get the proper education for my product.
So someone's asking, how do you know when you're using a product too much? Are there some indicators?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Theresa. Go ahead.
Yeah. And you know, us makers, we're the first to figure some of these out, trial and error. You love to, or try on your husband, you know.
Yeah.
You'll know right away sometimes when things are not safe. But skin irritation,
There's a test one.
burning, skin irritation,
Yeah.
nausea. Early on, I remember this was in the early 90s. I had someone that used to buy a lot of oils from me, and they said, "I am feeling so hyper and so nauseous after I'm taking this bath. I thought, you know, this particular oil was supposed to calm me." And I said, "How much are you putting in there?" And they said they were putting like a half an ounce or an ounce in each bath. That's over 1,000 drops.
Yeah.
I said, "Stop immediately. You're you know, that is, he was getting nauseous, you know, it starts affecting your kidneys and your liver if you go overload on these oils. So you will know, you'll feel nauseous, you'll get the chills, you'll sometimes feel like you had too much coffee. You might get a rash, irritation. You won't feel well, you know. And if you start drinking the oils, that's when it becomes very, very dangerous, and you should not do that.
Yeah, that's good. Good advice. Good advice. What farmers markets and vendors can we find Messy Buddha? Someone asked, how can we get Messy Buddha?
Well, I'm at 32nd Street Farmers Market all year round for the winter season. Lately, I've been at Diverse Markets, which is Southwest DC on the wharf. Huge fans, hi Mike, of Southwest DC. And also, you know, because of COVID, I've made myself available for delivery. So I haven't set it up on my website yet, but I am going to start, just because I have some elderly clients, I guess, who don't like to come out in public. I, you know, said, "Hey, yeah, I'll drop it off at your porch, no problem." So yeah.
Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet. Let me ask this question because it's one that has come up quite a lot. So I'm gonna ask this question, and then we're gonna ask the next question, because people just they are coming back and forth. So there's a lot of online information about essential oils and ingredients. How can consumers learn more information that can better their discernment? Is there resources or sources that we would recommend people go to? Theresa and Leah, what would you say?
Yeah. Yes, get as much education as you can. NAHA, National Association Holistic Aromatherapy, is a national organization. I've been involved with them since the start. AIA, Aromatherapy Association International Aromatherapists, is another organization. Those are two of the best. They're national, and they reach out globally too. You can find lots of resources on there. You can come here. We can help you educate on anything aromatherapy.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Now this is the last question. I'm going to give it to you, because then we're going to have to give people that I'm going to have to give before I ask the last question. Why don't we do this? How can people get in contact with you? Theresa, they want to buy all So Botanicals. How do they get in contact with you? How can they follow you?
You can go to our website, sobotanical.com. You can go to our Facebook, So Botanical, or our Instagram. All of them will have links to our products. the information is on all of those sites. hello@sobotanical.com. If you have a question. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. How about you, Leah? How can we get to Messy Buddha?
So my website address is The Messy Buddha, and Buddha is spelled Buddha. A lot of people mess that up. So themessybuddha.com, and my handle for Facebook and Instagram is @messybuddha. If you Google me, my telephone number is there because that's how you guys got in touch with me. It was a shock, I will say. Yeah, but that's how you get in touch. And as far as email address, messybuddha@gmail.com. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. So this is my last question I'm going to be able to get into. So as business owners, how do you remain optimistic? This first person asks, these are challenging times. And as a business owner myself, I often feel defeated with how much I've had to pivot because of COVID. So what word of encouragement, how do you remain optimistic during these times? I'll start with Theresa and then Leah.
I've had this philosophy since I've begun this business, and I try to find joy in every moment that I am doing my business. It can be the simplest things. Go to work, show up, make a product, be joyful, talk to a client, be joyful, enjoy the day, be joyful, make sales, be joyful. Find the little things that let the days grow longer. It's, again, it goes back to, I think the first thing I said, if you have a passion for this line of work, then it really it's my challenge is there's not enough hours in the day to keep doing what I want to do. And then I start the next day over. But if you find joy in your work, it just carries on,
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I'd say if you're not having fun, it's not worth it. Not worth it. Leah, what would you say? How do you remain optimistic?
So she's right. Yes, find joy. But for me personally, with the internet, sometimes we look so much at other people, and we compare ourselves to other people so much. I congratulate everyone. I love everyone's products. I buy everyone's stuff, but I do not compare myself to anyone. So definitely Oprah is funny. You mentioned Oprah. I watched a video of hers years ago, and she always said her team was always looking at the other talk shows and, oh, they're doing this. They've got this on.
I saw that same clip.
I love her so much. So I took that to heart. I'm like, yes, they are doing that. Good for them. They're doing a great job. What am I doing? What's my next move? So you stop looking at everybody else, comparing yourself. Clap for them, scream for them, and get back to your own work. So yeah.
That's right. That's right. First of all, you two are treasures in Baltimore. Such valuable members of our community. We're just grateful for you and for your products and what you're doing to heal. And I think in a time when there's a lot of healing to be done, thankful for you two embarking upon this. So it has been a pleasure, an absolute pleasure to have you on this session of Entrepreneurship Matters. Let me do some announcements, and then I'm going to cut us. We'll be able to everyone go for the rest of the day. But next week we do this every Thursday at 1:00. Next week is Thanksgiving, the Thanksgiving holiday. So we're going to take a hiatus, but we are going to come back on December 3rd at 1:00 with two amazing entrepreneurs. This was going to be great. It's going to be about physicians, but two. So not next week. So take the week off, and we're going to come back on December 3rd. But please follow us on JH Connects on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Email us comments, jhconnects@jhu.edu. And thank you to our community partners, Johns Hopkins University, Johns Hopkins Health System, Hopkins Local, the Mayor's Office of Small Minority and Women-Owned Business, and the Warnock Foundation. But thank you both, Theresa and Leah. Thank you so much, and we appreciate you. Have a great day.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Welcome, our pleasure.
Yeah.